The Buschy and Bobo Show, a healthy scratch podcast. Here's your hosts, Kyle Busch and Brian Rager.
Welcome back to the Buschy and Bobo Show, episode 29.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Not my fault.
This guy's fault.
This guy's got fucking 8 dinners a week he's got to go to.
7 days a week, but I got 8 dinners.
Like, where do you go?
A lot of the time her parents' place for dinner. Or her grandma's.
Like, so you can't say no.
The food is too good to say no.
All right. Well, anyway, we had, we're wearing our Germany stuff. So
Yeah.
Windsor Carousel, we were at the German club. And because obviously me and you we got German, yeah?
Yeah.
Not really. Canadian. I like that though. Like the maple leaf with the that was probably the best hat you got.
Nah.
Because I mean, okay. But I mean that one's kind of cool, you know, heritage thing, but it's also like, hey, I'm Canadian, but like this might, you know.
Throw a little bit of.
So anyway, so that was a good time.
It was a good time.
$36 pitchers, which is bananas,
absolute rip off.
So yeah, that was kind of insane.
But good food.
Yeah. But I think the last time we talked was like before like the conference finals, probably. Like if I'm thinking maybe it was like second round. It's been like a month and
I think
right?
we're still saying like, oh, who do you have in the cup final here?
This might be like the longest time we've gone in between a pod.
I'm
telling you, I bet you it is.
No, it's gotta be.
Because I think I threw one out. No, but I threw one out as a Wings one about kind of like, you know, the off season and kind of what they could maybe do. But there were some things, other Red Wings things that happened after that I kind of wanted to discuss real quick. One that people were a little bit getting bent out of shape about. Actually, it wasn't even that people got bent out of shape. So Dylan Larkin got rid of his agent and he went with a new one. Okay. Now this
why are people?
Well, it's not people.
freaking?
So the agency that he was with put out a tweet saying that like, we're really disappointed in Dylan's decision. And we were like prepared to, you know, because like he's going for a contract extension after this season, right? He's going to be UFA, I think. So obviously he's posturing because he's going to get a big deal. And if he's the captain and he's worked that, he's going to want to go with somebody that's going to represent him well enough to get
him his money.
Yeah, like get him what he was worth. And maybe this other place is kind of like small fried potatoes compared to who he's going with. And I don't know who he's going with.
It may have been that guy, that company that's like, all right, you know what? Hey, we'll sign you on. And blah, blah,
yeah, but it was the agency that was being really weird about it. And I'm like, I don't know, like do better. Like, what do you want him to do? Like, he's free to go to wherever, right?
Yeah, you want to make sure you're getting yourself your best dollar value or your best. You want to put yourself in a situation
normal
for after hockey as well, right?
Yeah,
so,
but this is normal. This happens constantly.
Yeah, guys drop agents.
And they go, it's like, I'm going to go who's going to represent me the best, right? So that was kind of interesting because I thought like it just was kind of like a petty thing, right? And then a lot of people like that were on, you know, maybe like Wings Twitter were wondering like, wait, why is he doing this? I'm like, it's just a money thing. Like,
yeah, he's trying to get
no way he's going to be like, hey, I'm leaving, right? Because an agent just kind of does what you need him to do.
Yeah,
he goes to bat for you, right? So if Larkin's like, no, I want to stay in Detroit no matter what, but just get me what I can get, and I'll sign it, right? If this is the best they can do, I'm signing it. If he's like, oh, I want to leave, like, okay, then they'll do that. But I don't think that's the case. So. Like being a Michigan guy, being the captain, like I think he wants to see. He wants to see it through, right?
I think especially in the way things are going in Detroit,
they're gonna get there, right?
Yeah, and he wants to be a part of it. He wants to be the guy to lead the team to that, and
right. And so leading into a second little Red Wings topic, if I can find this real quick, as you know, Facebook has the memories, right, where you can look and go, hey, like, this is what I said like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot that I find like when you're in your like early 20s, you're just a moron. Like, you're just really stupid, like stupider than we are now. Like possibly.
Yeah.
Okay. May 30th, 2012. All right. Now, Wings fans might know this date. You wouldn't. But the next day, I think it was May 31st. I went on Facebook and this is before I think I was even really like on Twitter a lot, because like this is a tweet. This is not a Facebook thing. Like no one cares. I put Lidstrom presser tomorrow. Okay. I'm sticking to my guns. If he wants back in, he needs to play for pennies. The defense clearly needs help. If he makes $6 million again, I won't be happy. What a moron. What a moron. Dude, you didn't want Nick Lidstrom, Kyle? You fucking idiot. Like, what are you thinking? Like, that's 22-year-old Kyle.
That's
22-year-old Buschy that like has no idea what he's talking about and that's the thing. I had no idea that the next 10 years, right,
would be
what they would be like. And like Lidstrom leaving was basically the start of it. Like he was the reason you kept playing in the playoffs. Like if I would have told my 22-year-old self, like, hey man, if Lidstrom played another 3 years and he was like 44, he'd still be your best defenseman. I'd be like, there's no way. And it's like, no, you're
wait till you see.
Like you're going to be terrible. Ken Holland's going to run this team into the ground. And you should have paid Lidstrom $9 million to keep playing because you needed him. So
he could still lace up the skates right now and probably be a top.
He's
top
playing the
40
alumni games. He's still 100%. Like, have you ever had something like that where like a really bad take? I'm sure like we'll look back, even if we went and looked at our
Corey Schneider.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to be the guy, and Jordan Schroeder.
Oh yeah,
Jordan Schroeder. I thought he was going to be the next stud for Vancouver. And
but that was just like a shocking thing. I was like, and then I remember there's some, and I'll try to, I'm closer to free agency, which we're getting there. End of June, which is like the next week. I'll probably have some where I'm talking about who I think the Red Wings should sign in like 2013. I remember one was like, yeah, they should go after like Ryan Johnson or like Steve Ott, and they did. Yeah. Like thinking, oh my God, what am I really? That's who's going to be the.
There were signings that I saw like in free agency that I did not agree with 100%. I'm like, you are an absolute drunken monkey, Dave Notice. The big one being Louis Eriksson.
Right.
One, Antoine Roussel, I didn't like.
Yeah, but you were bang on those. No, I'm talking about something where
it's like
this Lidstrom take is terrible. Like play for pennies. I mean, like if he wanted to, he could, because the last contract that he did, he did it himself. He didn't have an agent. And he said like, I wanted to negotiate my own contract, and he said it on Spit and Chicklets, which is hilarious. Cause I think Bissonnette was like, what did you say? Like, I'm Nick Lidstrom. I'm going to get what I want. Like, cause like,
pretty much
no leverage. He's like, kind of, yeah. Like, yeah. I have like 18 Norris trophies. Like, you're going to pay me whatever I want. Here's the number. I slide it over to you. And you're going to sign it because you can't argue.
You're Ken Holland and you're going to
exactly do it. Like, so I thought that was kind of funny. So it just made me think of like some of the bad takes, and like everybody has them. Like,
I bet if I look back on things like
we could look back last year to our pod last year and probably hear some things we said. We're like,
looking back at the trade deadline of my bad take.
Yeah. Kadri, like he sucks.
Yeah.
I would trade him for Giroux. That was actually genuinely like one of the funniest things that I've laughed at on this.
The fact that I had to I looked up, I'm like, what the fuck did I just say?
I was like, dude, like I thought you were trolling me. And then I went, wait a minute.
No, he's dead serious.
He's a conehead. He doesn't know.
Yeah. Cause like I was saying to you at Beer Fest or at German Village, when I think Nazem Kadri, I'm still thinking Kitchener Rangers, London Knight, piece of shit Kadri.
Yeah. But like, he was good on the Leafs too. It's so funny. It's so kind of like,
but I'm not even thinking Leafs. I'm thinking OHL Kadri.
I never was into the like OHL, so I don't even really remember. Was he like a Spitfire killer or what? Did he go to the Knights or did he get traded?
He got traded to the Knights.
Oh, right.
From everybody. Kitchener and
London got everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Tavares.
Right.
Bad takes. Yeah.
Bad takes. Okay. Here's some bad takes. Speaking of the Leafs, that Michael Bunting was going to win the Calder. You morons.
He's still on the first rookie team, though.
Not even close. Okay, fine. Okay, you want to see what Michael Bunting looks like on the first rookie team? I'll show you.
Yeah, he's a 38-year-old man with a bunch of 20-year-olds.
Just check this out. NHL tweeted this out. This is pretty crazy. Check it out. That's the all-rookie team. All-rookie team right there. I don't know if it's going to zoom in there.
You see the cave drawing.
Yeah, it's a cave drawing of Michael Bunting back when he was a rookie.
Back in
158 years ago.
He came into the year only after 3 years after Gordie Howe did. So
what's weird is Alex Carey. I've never really heard about him all year because I thought that would be Drysdale, but I guess Carey had a good year. But
a lot of things I've seen was where's Cole Caulfield on that rookie team?
well, he didn't play like more than half the year. Like basically when Ducharme got fired, he came in, he played well. He really did, but he didn't play all year. So, I mean, if he played all year, maybe he'd be in there, but Seider won the Calder. Like, I think it was 170 something votes out of 190.
We both said that.
It wasn't close. And I mean, Zegras was second. He had like 15 first place votes. Bunting had 5.
I would have been very, very, very upset if Zegras won it over Seider.
Yeah, and there was just no way. And the worst take that I saw, did you see James Cybulski?
No.
And I think this was just a troll tweet because he didn't say anything after. Now, James Cybulski is the one on NHL like 22 that does the play-by-play, even though he's not a play-by-play guy, which I think is weird. Here, let me find it. Okay, Trevor Zegras not winning the Calder is ridiculous. Zegras did more for the sport of hockey this past year than anyone. The impact of the Zegras goal can't be measured off the ice based on how many people watch replays of the goal and how many kids he inspired.
Okay, it's not an award based off of...
Worst take, I think, ever.
It's not an award based off inspiring or...
And he's not the first one that did it. Svechnikov did it like twice this year.
Exactly.
And then it's been done before.
In Michigan.
It was like 1997. So I said, what a troll. Holy. This is why I mute you on NHL 22. And I don't even play by
like you said, the more like Seider's impact on Detroit, a team that's for a while looked like they may have been playoff bound, but honestly, they're still a couple pieces away. And
can you imagine for even
Detroit without Seider,
even for Zegras, like, yeah, last year, that's what it was. But like Zegras, imagine if Sonny Milano didn't miss hit that puck and it didn't go in.
Yeah,
no one gives a shit. You know how many times Datsuk tried that? All the time.
And Datsuk has hands like
and he's doing it to Justin Abdelkader, so he's not going to hit it in, right? But like he just did one move, and the thing is when you look at and like Trevor Zegras is a fine player.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying he sucks because he had a great year, and you know what? Out of all the rookies, you know, arguably, yeah, he would be 2. I am a homer. I mean, Raymond finished 4th. I mean, Bunting, like I said, I don't think he should have been considered for the Calder. He's 27, and he's had 6-7 years of pro hockey. I mean, they need to change the rule for that. So he's an NHL rookie, but he's not up for the Calder because he's just too damn old. He's been in pro hockey too long.
There's a couple things
but like, change with. So anyway, I would say like Zegras, Raymond, probably in my opinion, kind of closer. Obviously, I'm biased, but it with Zegras' advanced stats. Have you seen the amount of times that he starts in the O-zone? Like 85% of his faceoffs, he was in the offensive zone. He was still a minus player. That's not good, right? Like you're starting in an attacking position and you're getting scored. Like,
but if you're a writer, are you looking at those advanced stats, or
you should be?
You should be, or are you being like a James Cybulski there, and you're being look the impact on the game and the.
I mean, okay, you look at impact on a team. Who had a bigger impact on the team?
Absolutely, Seider did.
I mean, Zegras is a great player. I mean, he's a great player.
Zegras is going to be a great for.
I don't think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be really, really, really.
I think he's going to he's going to be very like if the Duck like in their moving into their future.
Sure. Yeah, he's there. He's part of the cornerstone. Yeah. They have Zegras, they got Drysdale, they got Milano.
They got Mason McTavish there on
McTavish. Yeah, so they're going to have some guys. So it's like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you need to look at those things. I mean, Seider had Danny DeKeyser as a defense. He had a pylon cement block as his defense partner and did what he did. That's insane. Like there's no shot. And he only had like what 10 less points than
as a defenseman.
Like as a defenseman on a bottom feeding team.
Yeah.
He didn't play with the best player in the league. Or 2 of them, right? One of them won the Hart Trophy. And then Keenan Thompson roasted the Leafs right after that, if you heard that.
I saw bits and pieces. I didn't hear the whole thing.
It was the last award of the night. It was like right at the end. And it was like, oh, you know, the Hart Trophy and Matthews is walking off. And Keenan Thompson goes like, oh, it's really nice to see the Leafs win something in June. I'm like, love it. Saw it coming a mile away.
Good.
Still fun.
Good show. Good show.
Hey, stick taps. But do you think there was any surprises in the awards, like at all, where you like, do you give a shit anymore?
Honestly, not as much. I know they're trying to make it a lot more viewer friendly and trying to get the viewers more into it by making it more like the award show and having these celebrities in it. But
they've done that forever. They had the 2 ladies from like Desperate Housewives like 13 years ago, and they called Marty St. Louis Martin St. Louis.
Yeah,
like they don't know what they're talking about. No, the thing is, did you see this one?
No, I don't care.
It was like it was done at Torino's, and it was like a high school awards ceremony. There was like a brick wall behind them. It was like this weird, tiny little ballroom.
It's one of the award shows. Like I don't
so
care.
bad.
Like the NBA one, I'll watch the bits and pieces, but the
announce the winners.
The NFL one is good. Is probably the best one I watch.
I don't even that. Like just say who won it, and that's it. I don't need to see the speeches.
It's all for ratings and extra.
Exactly.
Income in for the league, but
I don't know if there was any surprises. To be honest with you, I think a lot of the players that should, like Shesterkin won the Vezina, like Matthews won the Hart Trophy and the Lindsay.
We said that Matthews was going to win the Hart. You said
Shesterkin would win the Vezina. Yeah, because
I said Markstrom
there's no freaking way Shesterkin was the best. He was up for the Hart.
Yeah, and no, but when when you said that too, it's like all right.
I mean, the one that was really, really close. If you saw, was Makar winning the Norris. He had less first place votes than Roman Josi, but because he had more second place votes, like just the points, how it worked.
Yeah,
is he won by like, I don't even know, it was like 6 or 7 votes, like, which is incredibly close.
Yeah,
which is crazy because Josi had like 96 points. Like, what do you want me to do? You know what I mean?
It's
so
but the voting itself is just like, I don't know, like I don't think there are any surprises, but some of the like the way that it's getting voted on, like I said, it's
the writers voting on this is so weird to me. And I know like basically every sport does it. That's why the Ted Lindsay Award is neat, because the players vote on it, right? And that's who. So I'm like, well, why don't the coaches vote on the Jack Adams? Why don't
that would make more sense.
The goalies vote for the Vezina? Like that, wouldn't that kind of make a little more sense to go like, here's what it is. And the thing is, even the award show, they only did half of them. The other half, they just said, oh, the Lady Bing, the Selkie, like they all said it beforehand, and they did like 5 awards, and that was it. They did like a quick half-hour
show, bingo, bango.
Do them all or don't do any. And just stop with all the filler shit. Like, I don't care, right? But I thought the writers, like I said, we've talked about it. Like, I don't know if they're really looking at the proper things. Like, there's some where they look at the ballots. I'll look them up, but where it's like, wait, who voted for Justin Falk for Norris? Here, I'll look it up. Norris Trophy ballot. Oh, I spelled ballot wrong. Ballot.
Have another Erdinger.
Wait, how do you?
Is it Ballot?
Norris Trophy. Yeah, ballot. I wonder where the actual picks are here.
Jack Campbell most likely on the move this summer.
It doesn't even say. I swear to God, I saw a thing where it was like, here's all the, here we go. Okay. Norris Trophy. Okay. So it's first to like 17. Makar, Josi, Hedman. Now stop me if you get to one where you're like, wait, are you serious? Okay. Makar, Josi, Hedman, McAvoy, Fox. He won it last year. Ekblad, Letang, Devon Taves. Now these guys have only got 3rd place votes from now on.
Okay.
Jacob Slavin, John Carlson, Morgan Riley, Miro Heiskanen, Quinn Hughes. Okay, now it gets a little like Mackenzie Weegar. Ekblad's the guy. Justin Falk, Alex Pietrangelo, Jared Spurgeon, Chris Tanev. So like that's kind of bizarre, right? So I kind of
like I can see why Tanev got it. Like just Tanev on Calgary there, he's not your points guy. He's not going to do that. He's your gritty defenseman. He's the one that'll block the shots. He'll take a puck in the dick for you.
Yeah, I get it, right? But like, it's kind of like, okay.
But when you compare him to some of these other guys, it's like, come on.
Hart Trophy. Okay, there wasn't really any where I was like, okay. But at the same time, they vote 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So they rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So some of these guys were ranked 5. Like, so for example, like Matthew Tkachuk got 1 5th place vote. So he was picked over like a lot of players that were clearly better than him, probably. But like it was Matthews, McDavid, Shesterkin, Goudreau, Huberdeau. Is he better than any of those guys?
No.
I don't think so. Josi, Kaprizov, Makar, Draisaitl, Ovechkin, Stamkos, Barkov, like basically all of them, right?
Those guys are all better still.
Yeah, keep talking about the awards while I go and tell my dog to get up the damn stairs.
Hey-o. Yeah, so I don't have Face ID, so I can't get into his phone. But it's the way that these voters like or writers vote, there needs to be some sort of change.
Yeah, and I don't think they will. That's just how it's going to be all the time. But it's like, why is Pat Caputo voting for? Like, I know he didn't. I think he does baseball.
Yeah,
it's like
he does baseball and he does. I think he does football.
It's so dumb. Like just because you are in the media doesn't mean anything. So I write
for the Oakland Press. Pat Caputo here on 97.1 The Tick.
I'm not a big fan of him either, but I'm not going to make fun of him. And then moving into the final, Colorado, Tampa Bay, right now it's 3-2 for Colorado.
What a goal scoring series.
But
will a goalie ever step up this series?
Oh God. I mean, both of them were pretty bad yesterday. I mean, Vasilevsky let in two really bad ones. Kemper let in some bad ones.
It's just like the first, I think 3 games they've been over
put the puck
goals
on the net. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
So the one thing, and again, everything because I'm a Wings fan, that's all I'm seeing is Wings fans are like, oh, I don't know who to go for. I'm like, why? Well, I can't go for the Avalanche. I'm like, why not?
Well, because the rivalry from 1996
to
2001. And
it's 25 years old. Let it go. None of the players have been there for a long time. That rivalry died in 2002, basically. Maybe 2003, Patrick Waugh left. Lemieux's not there anymore. They never played in the playoffs until 2008, and then Detroit destroyed them. But there was only a handful of guys left on each team.
Now being in separate conferences, too.
And that's the thing we talked about rivalries before. There's this, ESPN thing coming out, which I would love to watch. It's going to be Wings and Avalanche.
Yeah, the 30 for 30 there,
but
or whatever it is.
This rivalry died a long time ago. So as a Wings fan, I don't think you should give a shit if Colorado wins. Honestly, none of those guys care about the Red Wings. None of them have any animosity against any of these guys. Mo Seider's agent is Claude Lemieux. Let it go.
Oh my God. You know what? No, this is bullshit now.
Tampa Bay was built basically by our GM. So it's kind of one of those things. I want to see a three-peat because we're never going to see that in a long time. We've never seen it.
No.
We weren't born 1980 to 84.
Yeah, it was the Islanders. We've seen a bunch of back-to-backs, but
not a bunch. Three.
Okay.
Detroit, Pittsburgh, Tampa. Maybe before that, it would be the Penguins. I was 1 year old.
91, 92.
Yeah. That's it.
Well,
I mean, there's some there's Chicago, LA thing, but
a handful of back-to-backs. But it's I said I want to see the three-peat, and then this I saw something too. It was on Twitter or Facebook or wherever it was. It's if Tampa wins this cup, it's their first real cup.
That's bullshit.
And then I'm
it's dude, you have to they battled through other things. In the bubble, they didn't see anybody. Can you imagine the mental toll of I didn't see my family for 2.5 months.
All the
until
teams
they were on the ice
did the same thing last year. Same thing.
It's all a level playing field. So shut the hell up. You know what it is? Your team didn't fucking make it. Sorry, your team's shit, and they won. And maybe if it was such a Mickey Mouse Cup, maybe your team would have won it, but they didn't because they're not good.
Because they're poo.
Anyway, no. So just real quick, because I just thought the Wings Avs thing with the rivalry. Did you see the promo for it?
I haven't seen any of the promo for it. I've seen some little pictures or little quick ads, but
it's really cool because they show all the guys sitting down. It was Yzerman, Sakic, Shanahan, whatever. They're all they kind of just sit in their chair and they're getting ready, right? And then it shows some clips and a couple of them talking, right? McCarty talking about if you hit someone, you're looking eye to eye. That's a cold cock. That's not a sucker punch, and different things. And then it's the music is really cool. And I'm getting pumped up.
They're giving you the goosebumps.
Yeah. And then it shows it sit and then says it's Yzerman sitting there. It says Yzerman, and then it says Sakic, and then Forsberg, and then Shanahan, McCarty, Draper, Lemieux, and it goes through all of them, and it gets faster and faster, and then it stops, and then it's black, and it says, what was your favorite memory of playing the Avalanche? And then it shows Konstantinov, and he just goes, beat them. I'm even now, I got chills. I'm dude, that's what I would put in my locker room if I'm the Wings. Just put beat them. You know what I mean?
That's
dude.
It's good to go. It's nice. That rivalry was so strong back in the day, and it's awesome that they're making this documentary.
They want to kill each other. They don't like each other.
But to say that it's the same now as it was back then, it's definitely not.
It's just because the logos are the same. It's people that are yearning for those type of games again.
You're never going to see a Detroit-Colorado rivalry.
No, but you might see a different rivalry, and it might be something else, something crazy happen. I think that's how it happens, man. Lemieux smashed Draper's face in. They had this huge brawl, and they hate each other, and they met in the playoffs a lot. I think that's where Bettman thinks like, oh, if teams play each other a lot, they'll have rivalries. It's like we've talked about it. There's really not a lot of the rivalries are fabricated. The Battle of Alberta, it's like because they're close.
Yeah, that's
right. They're supposed to hate each other, right? Toronto and Ottawa used to be one because
Battle of Ontario, the Battle of Alberta,
right? So
the West Coast Battle.
No one cares, right? So
yeah, because that's really a rivalry. Vancouver, Seattle.
Yeah. So in the final, there's a couple calls. I don't know the refereeing. It's hard to look at it, and every single sport has this problem. I don't really see it a ton with like basketball. Maybe I don't follow it that much, but like the NFL for sure.
Baseball, you've seen a lot of it.
The umpires have been horrible, but in hockey, the refereeing, in my opinion, has been getting so bad that I call myself like definitely an above average hockey fan.
Yeah.
I've played the game and not to say that, I played the game and I'm elite. No, I played the game. So the rules, you understand, like, here's how things work. Right.
And you're not, and the way when we've grown up too, it's like, you're not just the guy that sit on the couch. I'll watch the game. Oh, I know.
No, I'm watching.
You look at these extra stats and these extra analytics.
Yeah. But I'm saying not even stats. I'm just talking about rules.
But you're always doing the research on it too, though.
But how are someone like us that watch the game? How am I watching? There's been a few times I'm watching this series, this final, and I'm going, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, I've never seen this in my life. What are they calling here? Like, and again, it's a problem with hockey. We've talked about their brand. We've talked about their marketing and how it's lacking big time.
Yeah.
Because they can't market their stars. And I mean, they finally did with Edmonton and Colorado. Give them props. They didn't show Oilers versus Avalanche. It was McKinnon versus McDavid. Yep. I'm like, finally, like, that's what the Americans would want to see, right? The McBattle. That's actually kind of nice. They should have used that. Fuck, man. You should have got him.
Damn it.
Sports marketing.
Well, I'm going to, I'm trademarking it right now.
Trademark it right now. Get on the horn with Gary. But I'm confused by some of these calls because I don't really understand the rules, which is weird because if I'm someone that considers myself a big fan of the game, that knows a lot, if you're
having an issue, if you're having trouble understanding,
how do I describe these things to someone that has no idea about the game? I mean, it's so weird. It's almost like in football where it's like, well, what is a catch?
Oh my God.
I don't know. Like,
who knows what a catch is these days?
So the first one, in both of these, I'm going to present them in a way how I originally saw it, and then when I slowly really started to think about it, I went, okay, this is maybe what's happening and what I think now. So the first one was in game one, Cale Makar, the offside goal. Yep. You saw that, right?
Yep.
So to set that up, there was a turnover at center ice. Nichushkin was still in Tampa's zone by like 3 or 4 feet. Makar picked off the puck. He's skating full tilt into Tampa's zone. From what I see quickly, now, amazing shot, by the way. I was like, holy crap, he wired it, right?
Yeah.
Scores. I didn't see anything. Okay. They go, okay, we're going to review it for offside. Now, me and Lou have talked about reviews. We've talked about reviews. I hate them. I think they're stupid and they need to go away. They kill the flow of the game. You want more goals, let it go. If it's a matter of a centimeter, leave it. If you can't figure it out after 30 seconds by looking at a video, whatever was on the ice, I don't care. If it's egregious, call it. I'm fine with it. The Danny Briere thing, the coach, I think it was Coach Sure, they were like 7 feet offside.
Yeah, then
that's what it's for. But if it's this much, I don't care. Yeah. It's so close, I don't care. So when they went and reviewed it, I'm looking at the replays and puck goes in, and Nichushkin's still in the zone. I'm like, that's offside.
But then you see Makar's stick.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I thought it was offside. I'm going, there's no way it's going to be a goal.
Yeah.
And then they go, it's a goal. I'm like, what?
Well, why is it a goal?
But here's the problem. They don't explain it. The referees should be explaining this shit on their
mic to everyone.
Explain what happened.
Instead of going just to the coaches.
Yeah, because the fans are going, what's going on? Or there needs to be an explanation from the PA announcer. Go, here's what you're going to say for the referee, because they're going to boo me. here's what you're going to say. I understood this one.
The ruling on the plays that it's a goal.
Here's why.
The puck was in the zone before the player made contact.
So now to explain it to somebody, I went, that would be offside pre-lockout before it was delayed offsides.
Yeah.
So this, in my opinion, was a delayed offside, and that's what they called. Now, at the time, I'm like, oh, it's kind of cheap. But then I went, wait a minute. Technically, Makar didn't touch the puck.
Technically, it's a good goal.
The puck goes past the blue line. Nichushkin's still in. Makar didn't touch it. Nichushkin clears, then he touches it. That's onside. And from what I think Elliot Friedman was saying, a lot of the video coaches and stuff that he was like messaging, they're like, oh, they got it bang on. Like that's exactly the rule. But like a lot of players don't know, right?
Carlo Koliakovo was hating that call.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hated him when he played for the Wings. So I mean, guess we're even.
Like he was like, as long as there's an intent that he's going in.
There's nothing to do with intent in the rule, Carlo. Well, that's not how the rule works.
And if anything, even if his intent's going in, heads up on him. That's great. Heads up to see that your guy's not on
Here's
side
even
yet,
the thing.
onside yet.
He didn't mean to do that. Makar didn't mean to do that. He was going.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that the puck was kind of not touching. Like, so I went, okay, fine. I mean, that was basically a 0.5 second delayed offside. That's all I would look at and go, all right, I get it. But they didn't explain it. I had to think about it for like 20 minutes. I'm like, trying to make sense of it. And I'm like, well, wait, it's like a delayed offside. It's not like soccer where it's done, right?
Here's the flag.
It used to be like that. If the puck went in before the player was in, the puck went in, they whistled immediately, right? Yeah. They don't do that anymore. And the second one was in game 4 in overtime. John Cooper was complaining that the Avalanche had too many men on the ice for the overtime goal. I think he had a point.
He nailed that there.
I looked at it and went, no. I mean, McKinnon's at the bench, right? Like, what did you think about it?
It's okay. Who came on from McKinnon?
Kadri.
And where was he in the play?
He scored.
There you go.
Okay, but the problem is people were looking at McKinnon. Oh, he's only 2 feet from the boards. I'm like, yeah, but you're not looking at who jumped on for him. If you watch it and go,
look who's
Kadri jumped on for McKinnon and was like 30 feet from the boards, as McKinnon was like 4 or 5 feet away.
Yeah.
Right.
And he has the puck there and
he got the pass and then he went in and scored. So I think they technically had a little bit of a gripe with that because it's like, well, there's and that's another thing with hockey. It's like, it's so subjective. It's like, well, how far away from the boards do you have to be?
Yeah.
Like, do you have to be like, you're not have to be off and then the guy jumps on. Are we going to have to go to that extreme? I don't think you can do that.
That's going to be then you're going to see
I mean, the linesman probably wasn't looking because that's his call to be like, you're way too far. That's too many.
Yeah.
You can't do that, right? Because you're getting too far of a jump, but at the same time, McKinnon's not in the play, but like
the big thing on that, it was the guy that subbed out for him, came on for him.
And it just so happened that he went in and scored. Right.
And that's where I could see where something needs to be done.
You're right. But again, because it's so subjective and because the rules change constantly, it's hard to keep up. And for just a normal hockey fan to watch a game, you're losing them. Like you're losing because these reviews, they're like, I'm telling you, I felt like there's reviews where I go, I just want to change the channel. Like I'm done. Like I'm checked out now because I'm like, oh, a goal. Right. And then it's like 5 minutes of a review. And I'm like, dude, like, can we keep going? Or like a regular hockey fan is going to go, I'm out.
Speaking of reviews, like I was watching the OHL championship, Windsor Hamilton on TSN. And in 2 back-to-back games, one in Windsor, one in Hamilton. The one review in Windsor was over an 8-minute review.
If you can't figure it out in a minute, move on.
Horrible. I'm
whatever the call on the ice was, move on. Like seriously.
I think I went to let the dog out, came back in, and play was still under review.
I did have it on one time. And maybe it was the same one because I was like, wow, this is taking a long time.
It was in Windsor the first one, but
yeah. So the reviews are getting a little out of hand because I don't think anyone knows what we're looking at, and even like the commentators are like, oh, what? Like they're like, oh, that's offside or
yeah. Well, in the OHL one, Craig Button was like, no, this is the second one. It will definitely not be a goal. Blah blah blah. This is why. But it ended up staying because they're like, oh, the goaltender interference. But
this is what this guy does for a living, and he got it wrong. So like, and then an average fan, you're trying to grow the game, you're trying to get them to watch, they're going to go, why is this taking so long?
Because Craig Button's nose is...
Well, I mean, he looks like the mayor of Whoville.
He does.
And then on the flip side, let's give Tampa a little credit. They're battled back. Man, they start their series so slow. I mean, Colorado looked awesome in game 1. They looked really good in game 2. Or no, wait, didn't Tampa win? No,
Colorado won.
They won. Yep. And then, Tampa won the third game 6-2. And then game 3 or game 4 was the overtime. And then yesterday, from when we are at 3-2 Tampa, without Braden Point.
I'm waiting for a goalie to steal a game.
Really, I mean, that's kind of what it's going to come down to probably. And I mean, if one's going to do it, it's Vasilevsky. Although Kemper he got a shutout though, the one game. So game 3, he shut him out, or was it game 1? I think game 1 he shut him out, or something. Like he does have a shutout though.
Like Vasilevsky is not looking like
there's times where it's like, wow, he made an incredible save, but some of the ones
he's let up 6 goals that game too.
Both that he let in yesterday were like, oh, that's not usually what he would let in. It's kind of like really lucky bounce. From Colorado, you just throw it all on net, see what happens.
Yeah, right? Well, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Hey, Wayne
Gretzky,
Michael Scott. But what I've been noticing lately is a player that on Tampa is considered, other than Vasilevsky, would be like their best player. Nikita Kucherov, has, in my opinion, he gets points, right?
Yeah.
And that's what people look at. But if you watch him out there, he is so dumb. And I say that, I don't even know how I can say that respectfully. Lovingly. Half the time he has the puck, I'm like, what are you doing? You know what he looks like? A guy on a beer league Sunday, right? That's playing pickup.
Just try hard
goes,
on beer league.
No, he's not trying hard.
Oh, just the guy there
for
a skate.
And then he gets it, and he does a couple little stick handles, but then when he has to make a pass, he goes, okay, that over there is the easiest, but that's what I should do. And then goes, wait a minute, if I try to sauce it through these 3 people, that'll look sick if it works, right? And then he'll do that, and it'll get picked off. But then the 7th time he does it, it works, right? Any other person is getting fucking benched immediately.
It's because it's Nikita Kucherov.
The amount of blind passes he does, he'll go behind the back and then Makar's like, thanks. I'm like, dude, you think you have eyes in the back of your head and you don't. This is the NHL, man. He looks so lazy out there. I'm like, move your ass. But when he gets the puck and he's moving, he looks phenomenal.
It's
infuriating.
It's both
if
ends
you're a
of the
Tampa
spectrum,
fan,
right?
I'd be like, dude, this guy is a ghost half the time.
Yeah, it's both ends of the spectrum.
He doesn't finish his hits. He plays on the perimeter, and then he'll score, and you're like, oh shit, that was sick. He scored yesterday. It was an awesome shot. And I'm like, because of course.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything else. He just throws the puck places, and you're like, how does that happen? I don't know what you think about that. There's guys like that where I just infuriating, where I'm like, you clearly
playing too much shell, and you're hoping to make these blind passes at, like I said, 1 out of 7.
This is the Stanley Cup final, game 5. You're like, if you lose, you're done.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'll throw it blindly out front.
And then next thing you know, freaking
and then
McCart's coming down. And
oh yeah, exactly, right. But I think
I'd be I'm John Cooper. I'm livid. But
well, I don't think you can be, because it's your guy. You have to.
I internally I am, but it's just I can't. You can't.
It's infuriating. I just I don't know. Every time
I don't
he does
get
it,
it.
I'm like, what are you doing?
I don't get it.
Speaking of what are you doing? What do you think?
Speaking of what do you
think the Oilers are going to do in the off season here? This is kind of the last topic I want to talk about, and I know we can talk about the Oilers a lot, but
we're doing an actual breakdown. So
I was telling you about Cap Friendly, and there's the interactive GM.
Yeah,
it's called the Armchair GM, where you can go in and kind of sign free agents, make trades, do whatever you got to do to try to see how would I do it, right? I did one with the Oilers because I was like,
oh, you did do one. All right.
I don't know how they're gonna do, how they're gonna improve. I really have no idea, right? And I'm telling you, as much as I know about the salary cap and contracts and player value and all that stuff, I couldn't do it. They are going to be because you have Ken Holland, there's no way you're going to be better next year.
They're going to do one big thing this offseason.
What?
They're not going to have Katz's kid up at the draft.
Can you imagine if they don't have him up there? That's probably been the problem the whole time, man. You know, that Carrot Top guy.
Just sign him already.
But okay, so like let's look at this thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna grab my drink here and go put my feet up here. Okay, so looking at their issues here. Okay, so you got your core, right? McDavid, Draisaitl.
I don't like that Zach Hyman deal.
Hyman and Nugent Hopkins are signed forever, right?
Yeah, and they both had no movement clauses.
Okay, right. I mean, but you're not moving really any of those guys. But
Cassian though.
Okay, so Cassian, everybody wants to buy him out. I'm like, okay, your $3 million is not going to help you out that much, right? So Warren Fogle, whatever, Derek Ryan, sure. Okay, the problem is when you get in these restricted guys because they can't afford Puljujarvi and Yamamoto. They can't afford Kane, right? No. They're losing 2 of those 3 guys.
Well,
I couldn't find a way
could see to them fit getting them Kane back on a low because
he's not going to. He got like 20 goals in like 2 months. He's gone. He's not. He's going somewhere else. They can't afford to keep him.
Does another team want to take on the?
Yeah, he scored 20 goals. They don't care about the off ice things. I guarantee you, a team will sign him because he's a good hockey player.
Because there's nothing to do in Edmonton. That's why.
No, because he's a good player.
No. But and then like who else there? Kyle Turris. I'm
telling you, Puljujarvi and Yamamoto. You can't get both of them.
No.
So
they're going to take one of them, and they're going to take Kane.
They can't, dude. They can't. They have no cap space.
So you're thinking they're losing 2?
Yeah, they're going to lose Kane and one of those 2 restricted guys. I don't see any other way. Like, and then people are like, well, Mike Smith's going to retire. I'm like, great, he makes $2 million. Now you don't have a goalie.
Yeah,
who are you going to get? There's no one out there. Holtby? There's no one out there that's that good. You know, looking at their D, like Darnell Nurse, that signing. Holy shit! I mean, if you would have waited a year, there's no way he gets signed to that deal. That is the worst signing I've ever seen.
That's a lot of money tied up for that defense.
And he's not good. You know, Duncan Keith, if he retires, his cap hit I think is still on the books.
Yeah.
Tyson Barrie's not that great anymore. Cody Cece's super average and getting paid $3 million.
You got no one.
There's not a lot here. I mean, can you bring back Kulak? He's like, I don't think so.
Get injured reserve. Say you got Clefbaum back, but
you can't. I think he's done. Right. So, I look at this team and I'm like, how are you? Like, who's coming? So the one guy that I see is coming, Dylan Holloway, right? So okay, great. Yeah. You know, you can replace him. I don't really know any of these other guys. Like Xavier Bourgault is not ready yet. Raphael Lavoie is not ready yet. Maybe. You know, on the back end, I mean, there's nothing there. Broberg,
Slater
maybe.
Coco, like he should already be.
Stuart Skinner, goalie. I mean, like he's a young guy. So I looking at that team and just the way that their cap works, I don't see any way that they're going to be better off because you're losing one of Puljujarvi, Yamamoto. Which one did you pick?
If you're keeping one.
Put your glasses down further. Why don't you?
Like Yamamoto, he's younger, right? But
I think Puljujarvi's ready to explode.
That's the thing. Like you look at these other like Draisaitl, McDavid. Like
I think you can find another Yamamoto.
I feel like you could. So like do you go with the Puljujarvi?
Yeah, I think you do. But I guess it depends on what they both want. But they're both restricted, right? So you qualify them. And then it's like, then what? You can trade them. You can trade their rights, get something, but you can't add.
I do have something interesting from my insider on the Oilers.
Oh, good God. Who? Pizza 75 or whatever it's called?
No, not 9737373.
Wait, what is it? Is it
Pizza 73?
Oh, I heard they're terrible.
Yeah, they're absolute ass.
Okay.
Well, my insider for the Oilers said that the other day she was at work there.
Have you been banging Daryl Katz's son? What's happening?
No.
Okay, who?
A girl at school here in St. Clair. She's working with the Oilers and Oil Kings.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, she saw Kenny Holland the other day, and he was pissed off, and he was kicking garbage cans. And
no, he was kicking tires.
Maybe that's why he's kicking garbage cans, because he tried kicking the tires there on Yamamoto and all.
Why, is he mad at himself for all these stupid moves he's made? Holy crap, man. Talk about mismanagement.
He's
yeah,
when the Oil Kings are better than the Oilers.
I mean, are they though? They got dummied in the Memorial Cup.
Yeah, they won the WHL championship.
Yeah,
so.
but, yeah, they're out. I mean, their goalie's pretty sick, I heard.
Is he a Wings prospect?
Yeah, it's Kosa.
Oh, fuck, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
What do the Oilers do?
I don't know. I mean, knowing Ken Holland, something dumb.
Bring back Ben Scrivens?
Wow, there's a blast from the past.
Nikolai Habibulin?
I mean, maybe Dwayne Rollison. How about Victor Fost?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I could play that game for a while, I guess.
Tommy Salo?
Cujo.
Hey, there we go. Grant Fear's coming back in between the pipes.
We should sign Yanni Niinema.
Jesus. Ryan Smith out of retirement.
Anson Carter.
Fuck it. Just bring Wet Dog back.
Fernando Pisani. All the players on 2006 that pissed me off.
Oh, my God.
Jared Stoll doing a line of coke.
There you go. Fernando Pisani. What a name.
There was a few that year where it was like, who are these guys? Who's the guy that ended up playing in like St. Clair College's league as like a 38-year-old? Todd Harvey. I remember I was like, what is he doing? He went back to school. He played for like, I forget who it was, some college.
That's insane.
And they played St. Clair at Tecumseh Arena. I remember that. Anyway. So that's kind of, I guess, the episode for
so Oilers breakdown. We have no clue what the fuck to do with
that. Was our breakdown of the Oilers. They're screwed. I don't know what they're going to do. If you want to, go on Cap Friendly, go to the Armchair GM, try and figure it out. I was stumped. I don't know what they're going to do. They don't have a lot of draft capital. They don't have a lot of like prospects I would move. Like,
they
is
don't
it
have
internal?
I don't think they have any
They got Bourgault, they got Lavoie, and they have Holloway up front. On the back end, they got Broberg. I mean, Bouchard's already there. They got Stuart Skinner in net. So but they're still young, and it's like, are you expecting these guys to turn the tide? Is there anyone on this team that you can move?
And they already lost a goalie too.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this before we end. Okay, of these guys, okay, the two of them, you're not trading McDavid or Draisaitl. You can't, right? You're done. Zach Hyman, you just signed, right?
You're not going to be able to trade him.
Nugent Hopkins, you just signed to an extension too.
Yep.
You can't trade Cassian. And then everyone else has no worth of anything, right? On the back end, no one's taking Darnell Nurse anymore, right?
I don't think they're going to move him anyways.
Duncan Keith is a corpse. Tyson Barrie.
And Keith also has a no movement clause.
Right. I mean, Tyson Barrie and Cody Ceci, no one's going to take them either. And the thing is,
and if they do,
you have to move these guys and then bring on other people that are going to replace them, but be better. Good luck with that, Kenny.
Like, if you've replaced Tyson Barrie,
I'd rather have Broberg and Kulak than Barrie and Ceci.
I feel like you could move one of them.
For what?
But it's not going to be a...
Then you have to replace them.
And that's where you bring up your guy like Broberg or whatever.
I think Holland's the guy that just spends at the cap. He finds $1 and goes, what can I spend this on? He's not like, wait, I'm going to spend 25 cents and save 75 for something that might be worth it more down the line. Right? Hey, I'm going to buy 4 gumballs instead of buying 1 and then a bag of chips.
He's a great pre-salary cap GM.
Was he?
But he could sign anyone he wanted.
Yeah, he had the keys to the Illich vault. Exactly. I could have done that. Hey, Brett Hall, you want to come play here? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Robitaille, you want in too? Sure, why not?
Yeah, Mike Illich was like, hey, go get Prince Fielder for $1 billion.
And then trade him.
And then buy him out. Like,
Trade him for everyday Ian.
Right. So, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. Look, and that's the only reason I broke down the Oilers was I wonder.
Like, is there anything?
What can I do? Because I did the wings, right? I mean, I did that in the last episode. Some of the guys maybe they could look at.
There's no one that you could really trade on Edmonton.
That's what I mean. There's no one you can trade for somebody or hey, I'll trade 1 for 2 or
you may have been able to get rid of Nuge before you signed him on that extension, but
yeah, I mean that's the thing is they're handcuffed, and Holland did that to himself. There's really nothing you can do. You need a goalie. You need to there's that team's coming back the same way, which I know they made the conference final, but they look how far away they were. Colorado annihilated these guys.
They were
not even close.
Even the series against Calgary.
It's close. I don't think they get Calgary's best either. If I'm being honest, I think Calgary kind of faltered big time. But next episode, it'll obviously be after the final. I mean, we can break down whoever won the cup. If it's Tampa or Colorado, maybe what that means.
So we're not doing one tomorrow.
We could do one tomorrow. Yeah, sure, I don't care. And I mean, like I said, we have some fun ideas.
There's a couple I know we have.
We love the drafts. We love the drafts, and our original 6 draft was really fun to do.
That was
so. I figured in the off season, there's not a lot to talk about other than free agency and like moves, and then the summer is really nothing, right? So I thought that'd be kind of fun to do, just me and you, and draft some just fun dumb teams. And
yeah, we got the actual draft coming up too, and you know Shane Wright, he expects to be number 1. He thinks he's the number 1 guy in the draft, and you know,
don't talk to Lou about the draft because he's like, oh man, I
know
they're gonna pick the wrong guy.
Going number 1 is gonna be absolute necessity for me because I'm Shane Wright and I should be the number 1 draft.
It's like, okay, dude, buddy, we get it. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, I just don't want to go to Arizona.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to play the 5,000 seat barn?
Yeah. Hey, maybe we'll do one of the drafts tomorrow and figure that out. And you know, got some interesting ones. We might do an enforcer draft. We're going to do different country drafts. We're going to do different franchise drafts. We got some ideas. So stay tuned for those. Stay tuned for basically me kicking the shit out of this guy.
Fuck that. I'm going to kill you in the enforcer draft.
You have no idea how much research I've done.
You know how much I need to do?
And it's going to show.
No.
This is the Buschy and Bobo Show, episode 29. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on YouTube, but not on TikTok because we don't do that anymore because we're not.
Because we don't know how to do the gritty.
We don't know anything about the new stuff. Until next time, it's Buschy and Bobo. We'll talk to you soon.
I like turtles.